Milo 2, brought to you by the best names in the business and a whole bunch of my mates helping out. Milo 2's maiden run down to the high country and then on to TTHQ. Young fella, can you help me? Can you help me switch this motor off?
What's this?
It won't turn off on its own. No.
You got to stall it. Okay, where's your truck?
Hey?
Where's your truck?
This is my new truck.
Is it?
What do you think of it?
Milo 2, it's driving me thing. Oh, that's pretty nice.
Look at it. Look at it.
Hey, look, it's. How did you get it that good?
Oh, I didn't. They kept me as far away from it as possible, Al.
You've actually cut a ute body down, is it?
No, it's a ute body.
Yeah.
This is a 79 series. Off, you know the dual cab?
Yeah. Oh.
In South Africa, they put a tray on it.
So what did you do? You had to extend the chassis then?
No. It's a 45 series. It's a troop carrier chassis.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Troop carrier chassis, ute body.
How did you measure all this up to know that it's going to fit?
I didn't. Just it was an accident. It's like driving a new truck.
Is it? Yeah. What colour do you call that? Forest green or something?
Milo green.
Milo green.
What is it? Mid Brunswick green, they call it.
Hey, it's got stuff in the dashboard. Gee.
What do you like the dash? That's a Lancaster bomber bomb release panel, and all the switches are wired through it.
Yeah.
And we got the fancy red arc gauges. So we got new and old. All the consumables are on the dash there.
Yeah, right.
We got it today. We want to give it its first service. It's done 2,000 Ks.
Oh yeah.
And we want to do everything because I mean you were there when we put the diffs together.
Yeah.
So we really need to check everything. Yeah. Richard's going to be. He's done a whole lot of the construction on it, so he's going to hook in, finish the piping for the Brown Davis double
tank. Have a
tank.
spanner check if I can, if you don't mind.
I won't have a bit of a spanner check. We're going to just go through, but I want the full Allan Gray.
I want to go through the tools.
Spanner check too. Yeah, no, well we've already checked your spanners and we got most of them. You know.
So you're going.
It's funny actually. There's two major makes of tools in Australia. There's Sidchrome and there's AG. Allan Grays. Look, so what else do we have to do, Rich? We probably need to. Was there a wheel bearing?
Oh, it's a wheel bearing. It's loose, but I don't know. You guys didn't hit it with a sledgehammer. That's why.
You got hit with
That's not loose. That's acceptable.
You feel that?
That's acceptable. Oh, that's better than acceptable. What about this plane of steering that you pointed out?
Oh, that idle arm. Yeah.
Is that the box? The transfer box?
No, what you do is just loosen that.
Yeah.
And tighten the next one down as long as you don't make the steering too tight, that's all.
Yeah, it's a bit of an effort at the moment, so.
Oh, we can.
It steers all right. I mean, it steers as good as any.
Yeah.
Better than most 40 series.
The steering wheel go and all that sort of thing, and it doesn't wobble. And
straight as a knife.
No, it's almost dead straight.
That's all you got to do. Yeah,
it even brakes reasonably straight. The first time I met Allan was, well, I think I've met him before actually, but in Terrain Tamer. Remember when I bought Milo here on the way to Tassie? And that was like in the very early days, probably 20 years ago.
Go to Tassie with you.
No, you didn't, but you sent the shorty over with young guy, Dale, that's it.
That's his new 200 series just
And
oh yeah, that was a bit rugged. We found a lot.
You went right over Milo, and all I could hear in the background, like I'm out the front saying, here I am at Terrain Tamer, and Allan Gray's looking at my Toyota, and all I can hear is, oh, gee, look at that, this is no good, oh, this is useless, oh, well, you've done this too loose, and this isn't tight enough, and oh, they don't work. And
why did I just walk over and grab this? Because remember?
You remember?
The mountings were, this was just floating around everywhere.
Yeah, I had it flexi fitted.
Yeah, with the steering fitted. I think the thing driving the steering was torn in half. So.
Yeah, anyway. No, that's this thing driving the steering up here.
So what are we doing?
Put her in the air, eh?
You were talking to me before. We're going to change all the oils.
Yep.
All the oils and the oil
diffs. I suppose we better do the. Did we get oil for the box and everything?
We've got the oil for everything. So engine, gearbox, transfer box, both diffs.
All right.
Give it a bit of a grease. Look for anything.
I'll have a go at the.
Go at the fuel tank piping.
Cover
A bit
up.
of a spanner check.
It's pretty obvious, isn't it? But if you're going to drain diffs or gearboxes or anything else, and we're draining the whole lot, you want to pull the filler plug out before you pull the drain plug out. And that way it can breathe and all sort of in that rush of oil out the bottom, hopefully the one that doesn't hit the floor all over Terrain Tamer's workshop, that's where all the loose flotsam and jetsam, the bits of metal, swarf, anything that's worn off the gears will come out in that rush of oil because you took the filler plug out first. Just remember that. Try not to get it all over the floor.
Gear oil. 80W90, is that right? What's that? That's engine oil, engine oil, engine oil. And grease.
And grease. Could never have enough grease. I bet it's a while since anyone made as much mess as I'm going to make in a minute.
Yeah, all right.
Pulling this oil filter out. Never managed to do it without making a mess. Is there some trick to it, Alan?
Yeah, get somebody else to do it.
Get someone else to do it.
I wrote about that the other day. You can get special oil filter draining things, overalls that have a hole at the elbow. So at the celebration of a book coming out from Tasmanian Motorcycle Club. The guys.
Here it comes.
Don't make a big sign there to it. It's not upside down.
Really?
And it's writing a book about it. And my grandfather, I've got some trophy. Okay, so we're going to fill this with oil. Penrite, the way to go. No, it is, all right? It's just a little bit slower than normal. Huh?
So while Al's pumping in the Penrite, Smart Richard's having a look at these fuel connections. We got the tank in the other day over at Brown Davis, but we didn't actually get it hooked up. How's it going?
Yeah, good mate. I'm just going to offer it up, then I'll give it a coat of paint. Just see if it goes well up there. That should.
That's the amount?
Yeah, that'll be like that.
Oh, okay.
Do what we've got to do with all the pipe work after done it.
So this isn't exposed or anything?
It is a bit, but we're going to put that big skid under there, aren't we?
Whereabouts?
Where the Browns Davis wanted it. I'll show you.
Show me. Oh, that's not exposed.
Yeah, just do it like that.
Yeah, and then we played underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Where do the fuel lines go from there?
So we'll be coming back down here.
Yep.
To the first ones and the return from there.
So it's off to the side.
That's
and
it. And that one will come back round and back up to the engine.
Yeah, so no worries. We can plate that. It'll be away from the drive shaft. Perfect. Well done.
Ow.
I probably couldn't have done a neater job myself, Richard. We can't help it if it's the easiest way to do it. And for some reason, my muscles don't seem to object. Oil filter! Yay!
Beautiful box, it must be good.
Isn't it a nice big oil filter? Huge.
All right, so if I fill this up with some special engine oil here,
Some of me engine oil.
you can screw that. I had trouble getting the last one off because I thought I knew everything, but
I'll just go and clean up the mount for it.
well, if I put the oil in here, we're going to get oil pressure straight away. A lot of trouble was caused when we screw that back again and expect the oil pump to quickly fill this up. In the meantime, we might be starving things like tappets and things that urgently need some oil straight away, particularly if it's been sitting around for a week. This has got, all right, so we'll fill this up with oil and that'll give it instant oil pressure. How about that?
Instant oil pressure.
This looks to be the wrong way around, but it's about the only way I know
You're
to
still
do it.
better at pouring than I ever was. I've made a few little puddles around here.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, is that what they say? What else do you expect from me?
Anyone who walks around here would think they were giving oil away. Mate, what's going on with this?
Oh, so these are the pre-filters, just to stop any larger grit and that getting into the mechanism for the valve.
Oh, yeah, that
Just
makes
to
sense.
ensure that it keeps it clean relatively clean when it comes in there.
So that goes between both tanks
Yep, and the valve.
and the valve.
And then we're going to have our
our
water separator
our
and,
water
and the
separator
primary, filter up the top there.
after that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm just checking at the moment, really. I just want to make sure I can get to all the appropriate plugs. Yes, all except the gearbox filler. And I'm going to take the filler plug out first. 2 reasons. First is so the air will rush out and let the oil dump out and get all the fillings out. Second reason, as Si pointed out to me, which I'd never thought about, but he's quite right, you want to know you can put oil back in it before you let the oil out of it. It's true. Okay, 2,000 Ks, probably about 1,800 on the road getting here. Lots of potholes, came the back way, and then another 200 or 300 mucking around in the high country, plus a few hundred to get here. Actually, that's a lot more than 2,000 Ks. Time to go right through her. We've been having a bit of a look along the way. After the first day, I did a quick just look around, but now we just go through and specifically U-bolts, steering linkages, everywhere there's a chance of movement. There's a chance that a bolt or a nut's come undone or it's not quite tight enough. So that's just what we're going to do. Right. So you reckon that's the place, Rich?
Yeah, man, just under there, just tucked behind there.
Okay.
I'm with you guys here. You know what you're doing here?
Come around and have a look, Allan. Are you happy with this?
What, you or the vehicle?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're never happy about me. Richard reckons in here.
Yeah. All right.
Up under there.
Yeah. As long as you can see it.
We can see it and we can get at it easy and...
You know what I do? Every time I do a fill, I go 2 traffic lights, lift the bonnet out, it's a nuisance, have a look and see if there's anything in there. If there's not, I go to the next fill. How else are you going to know?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I do.
2 traffic lights.
Oh, 100 yards. Then you know which survey you got the dirt at.
Ah, yeah, okay, fair enough.
You can drain it out there, but yeah, put it there, that's good. You can drain it, it's going to go down in the ground and you can put a couple of holes in there.
That's part of the flash lube product too, is it? Yeah. The bracket? That's a good idea.
Universal kit, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Universal kit, you're right. It was made for the high lux. It'll go either side, depending whether you've got a jaw back or not.
Okay.
And there's a little hole in the side which indexes with a special bolt over that side, and we've got another one for this side here.
Gotcha.
Universal.
This isn't a Hilux, but can I just point that out? You know, I mean, it could be, but it's not.
It's a bit bigger here.
Yeah, a little bit bigger.
Different fan blades. All right.
All right.
Well, a couple of holes. I'll go and get some screws.
You go back to lunch and I'll go and get a glass of water and you do the work.
Thanks, mate.
Any more help you need, is that bonnet in the road or do you want it up further down?
Sometimes it just doesn't pay to be the youngest bloke around. And with me and Al around, hey Richard, you're the youngest bloke. On ya, mate, get into it. Oh boy, there we go. That's the most satisfying moment. Tipping in the golden penrite and knowing that you got 5,000 Ks minimum fun just out of this bottle. When we fitted these spring packs, we fitted 300 kilo rated springs, and it's not enough. It worked okay for Milo, but Milo's a different jig, you know. First thing we did was put probably half a ton of books in the back of it, and that settled it right down. And that, combined with the trip, means the best thing we can do is swap these springs out for the half-ton rated ones, the 500 kilo ones, and that'll restore it back to its height. Guess who gets to swap the springs? I love the fun jobs.
Alright, so we've got our toggle switch here for our main tank and our sub tank. This is going to be going in the dash here. I'm just going to drill a hole in the dash to take the switch.
That screaming noise you can hear, yep, I reckon that's Hilton from Flying Paints, hearing about his paintwork getting damaged again. Meanwhile, I'm down there pulling out the old bushes. These bushes have only done a couple of thousand Ks, so I'm using them again. They're Terrain Tamer ones, they're beauties. Sounded like it, was it?
Somebody's in me light. So is it safe to lean against?
Yeah, oh gee.
What is it now? Come on.
This is the new Milo 2, and you know fully well what it is because you've been underneath it nearly all day.
Underneath it all day. Do we need a new Milo 2 driver though? That's the problem.
Come on then.
Sounds good.
Ah, I'm scared. I'm scared.
Seatbelt.
Don't worry about your seatbelt.
Seatbelt.
Push the button. That's it. Oh, gee, it sounds good on this side anyway.
Yeah, so it should. So I think we can reverse it somewhere here, I don't know where.
Yeah, that looked pretty good before. She's pretty high geared because of the 10% overdrive of the Terrain Tamer gears. Sorry, of the Gear Masters, you know, that they fitted.
Yeah.
Al's not the youngest bloke in the world, but it's never stopped him going hard. He's good on a trail bike too. He's not worried, this fella, isn't he? Mind you, proves what's possible. Whoa, bunny rabbit.
Got his head screwed on right to get out of my road.